Hi, everyone. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome. I'm Tammy from Living Truth, and today I want to talk about the memorial that happened yesterday. And let's get started. All right. So I kind of look at the memorial every year as kind of just a reflection point, reflecting on my kind of my journey out of the organization that happened many years ago. So yesterday was my 14th year of leaving the organization. So yay, yay. Um, it's I always gonna look at it because it was my last memorial. It was like the last meeting, an event as a Jehovah's Witness. So that's kind of where I reflect from, where I'm like, okay, that was my last. So when it comes up every year, then I'm like, I do have that reflection of like what went down and where I'm at now, where I was then, what happened in between. And I kind of go through that. Is it similar with you guys? Like, I'm curious to know as well what kind of impact the memorial has around you. I mean, to say it has an impact, it doesn't really at all for me, other than just that reminder. Like I said, this year I did get a invite from my parents. They still they still somewhat contact me, and because I got married last year, then they're more open, I guess, to contacting me. But to say we have like a wonderful relationship, it's not easy, right? Because you're still dealing with Jehovah's Witnesses that are very much in, and they really want you back in in it. Whereas I'm like, I'll never go back. So it's not an easy relationship, is it? And I know many of you have the same type of relationship, if at all, with your parents, because like I'm not disfellowshipped. So any of you who are new, I was born into the into the religion. And so yeah, third generation, ex-Jehovah's Witness now. And yeah, that's where I'm at. So as a Jehovah's Witness, though, the memorial is the most important event that you celebrate. It's actually the only event, isn't it? Other than marriage. And you can celebrate anniversaries too, but really that's it. The most important event is celebrating the memorial of Jesus' death. So the invitation I got from my mom was kind of interesting, actually, because the way that the invitation came to me was, one, through email. Two, it was a scanned letter that my mother wrote by hand, but it was on a piece of paper that was clearly provided from the organization. So blank piece of paper with lines on it. And it has a header with Jesus on it, a picture of Jesus. And you are invited, memorial of Jesus' death, Friday, April 15th, 2022. And then at the bottom of the letter, so it has all the lines, and then the bottom of the letter is a QR code going to jw.org. And it says, follow this to jw.org to find the actual congregations and local areas, or local kingdom halls that you can attend the memorial at. So just that piece was kind of interesting, that the organization is doing it this way. And I would have to, guess that they're doing that so that it feels more personal. It probably, they can reuse this over and over instead of having to recycle a bunch of flyers that never got handed out. But probably more of the personal touch is where I'm kind of feeling. So did you guys let me know in the comments below, like if you guys got an invitation like that, or if it's more specific to a region or country. I'm curious because the organization is changing some things up, right? And to say that I'm involved, I'm not, I'm zero involved. but I'm interested in the point of like seeing how their organization is evolving, I guess. Even though they probably don't like that word, evolve, evolution of the organization, right? Anyhow, back to the memorial. So yeah, like I said, 14 years ago, that was my last one. It was really uncomfortable actually when I went to it, because I hadn't gone to I hadn't gone to meetings regularly at all. I was on my fade out process, which I hadn't planned to actually leave the organization anyway. You can see in some of my other videos why I left and stuff like that. It was around it. The reason why, in short notes, was that I was going through a separation and divorce, and that kind of woke me up to the organization and just the lack of love that I saw or didn't see when I was judged that I had done something wrong. So it kind of woke me up to like, wait a second. You know, one of the main things that Jehovah's Witnesses have always said is that we have the only true love. And yeah, so that was basically the starting point of me kind of opening my eyes to what that whole organization was. Yeah, and the other thing I was thinking about was like, I was thinking about people that are physically in, mentally out, you know, PMO, I guess. What I was thinking was like, if you're physically in, mentally out, I mean, that's difficult to kind of navigate sometimes. But if you're seeing this video, you obviously are looking for outside help, influence, that sort of thing, which was not a thing that I actually had when I left there. I very much felt like I was on my own island, because there was not a YouTube thing. I mean, I wasn't actually on YouTube. I didn't go on YouTube until like 2017. So, I don't know, 9 years later. But yeah, so, I mean, it's great that this avenue, this platform is available for people to actually see that you're not alone in how you're feeling and what you're going through and leaving. And it is a confusing time for sure, when you're leaving. Also, from the fact that you might not believe, and now you're feeling coerced or guilted into going back to the memorial, even though it's something you might not believe, or you just don't want to do anything with it, or you're discipleship, or you're trying to just appease your parents or mom or dad, whatever, so that they won't shun you, because you know that will happen if the truth comes out about you kind of waking up from the truth. So anyway, my point is, and what it always is with this channel, that I want to make sure that people realize that they're not alone in what you're going through, and to really, involve yourself in, or, get to know people. You can get to know people throughout the people that are commenting, people that have comments that resonate with you, that sort of thing. And it's kind of interesting, the people I've met through like YouTube, actually, just even doing this. I think that's all I really wanted to say, just kind of get back here and just as a reflection point for myself, but then to check in with you guys too. So yeah, share, if you went to the memorial, if you got an invite, how is that? Like, share what's going on in your life, in as much as you want, obviously. I do read all the comments, as I've told you before. If you're new here, like I said, please consider subscribing and putting on your notifications so that my next videos, you'll see them. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Tammy.